here's a little video of that pre-existing crack that happened when the old cooktop was put in because they didn't round out the corner. Now what I've done with this one, I've rounded the corners on 3. There's the 3rd, and the 4th here is not round, and I'm going to make it round with a drill before I vacuum, because I do not want cracks off the corners of this. So that's the one thing I'm going to do next. I also just wanted to document the very funky looking hole that resulted from a slightly smaller cooktop and a not very straight original installation. So when it comes to this side and the top and the bottom, the only thing that I had to do was make the cut square. On this side, however, this is where I made all the adjustments to get that cooktop to come in right, because things drifted a little bit as I was making the cut. So you can see how I made little tiny adjustments to the hole here. The majority of them are on the back side because I needed to bring in this corner. It was about 2 millimeters too far back, and that meant that I had to swing in the rear left corner to get the front left corner to come forward. But it all worked out, and just thought I'd take some quick video to document this install. And this weird hole, which was not, it was pretty tricky to put in, I would say. Pretty tricky being on a scale of 1 to 10, maybe being a 6, because lots of measuring and anxiety over making the hole the wrong size. So I kind of undersized it a bit, maybe by a millimeter or 2, and then just feathered back where I needed to by dry fitting the cooktop and then looking in from the bottom to see where the side was binding, and then just grinding that back a little bit with the jigsaw blade, which is something I have a lot of experience with. For those of you with less experience, you may want to think about just adding a couple of millimeters to the cut, which would make for a single cut install, but then if you cut too big, you've got nothing to put back. So I'd rather cut too small and cut twice, measure twice, and undersize it a little tiny bit, and then fit it. And that's because I've done so much work on renovations with the older buildings where nothing is square, nothing is straight, everything is old, twisted, warped. I've just learned to do it that way. But it's time consuming. It's much more time consuming to do it the way I've just described. However, you will probably get a successful result. So that's why I've taken that tack. And the other reason is I have time. I'm not a professional contractor who's banging out 10 of these a week. I'm just making what I hope is a very beautiful area for Mrs. Maker to do her thing. And she appreciates it when it's done right. So, and of course she'll remind me if it's done wrong continually because she's in here all the time. So it's best to take your time and make it perfect. So that's the story of that. And I'm going to now put that foil in, and I'll probably do it in fast time. Off we go. and the foiling of the edge is complete. I must say this is a really nice looking technique. You use duct foil to line the hole, so if there are any spills, they don't get into the material from which the countertop was made, causing any damage, and probably easier to clean up too. So I just put a little bit of a lip, maybe a centimeter or less, and I'm pretty pleased with the way it turned out. It looks good. Sure makes that hole look nice. And next thing to do is put the foam tape on the countertop, wire in the plug, and drop it in. So here we go. I hope you liked this video. If you did, please consider subscribing, giving me a like, and leaving me a comment. I really enjoy making these videos, and I want to know from you how I can make them better. The whole point of these videos is to demonstrate that if I can do something, you can do it too. Well, that's it for now. So long, and remember, keep making.